Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. What goes around comes around. I want to tell you a little bit of story about what has been happening in India's cricket. Remember the 2017 Champions Trophy final when India lost after winning the toss on a road of a wicket and putting Pakistan into bat? And now news is emerging that 𝗹𝗂𝘀𝗁, the coach, and the other batting coaches and so on and so forth had, along with Virat Kohli, had agreed that if India wins the toss, India will bat. But that's not what happened on the ground. Kohli said he wants to field. And then the rest is history. They scored a mountain of runs and India was never in the contest. Now, that point is what I would call as a very dubious decision. Nobody asked Virat Kohli, except the coach, as to why he chose to bat, as to why he disobeyed the orders. So in truth, he should have been the one that should have been fired as captain for disobeying the orders. This was a meeting that was brought together. They decided that if India wins the toss, India would bat first, and the captain decided against it. So, don't you fire the captain then? But what happened was 𝗹𝗂𝘀𝗁 got fired. Not only that, at that point of time, Rahul Dravid was going to be the batting coach and Zahir Khan was going to be the bowling coach. There was going to be a change in guard as far as the batting and the bowling coaches was concerned. Well, once Kumble left, Ravi Shastri was brought back in. Amazing, no selection process, nothing. And I have told you in the past what happened when Virendra Sehwag was asked a question as to why he didn't get selected as the coach. He said plainly and bluntly that he did not have any setting at the BCCI. So, Ravi Shastri is back. What does he do? He negates the appointments of Rahul Dravid as the batting coach and Zahir Khan as the bowling coach. Everybody gets behind Virat Kohli. No one in India asks these questions, myself included. I guess I wasn't paying so much attention to cricket at that point of time, and nor was my YouTube channel that popular. So let's leave it at that. Maybe I should have asked, I could have asked. Again, I didn't have quite the audience that I have now, so I'm going to ask that question. I've been saying this. So what I decided to do was I decided to go and write a book about it, which is the Who Painted My Lust Red. Okay, so let's fast forward a few years later. There was an IPL game in which Kuldeep Yadav bowled well, and the commentator Sunil Gavaskar said, "This guy is the find of this country," and he praised him to the skies. And then he gets selected. They go down to Australia. First test, Ashwin plays. India win the test. I think this is not the series that concluded recently, but the one before that. India win the match, but Ashwin is playing hurt. And you can read all this in the interview that he has given, I think in ESPN Cricket Info. I read about it somewhere else, but I think the original interview is in ESPN Cricket Info. And Ashwin was hurt after the first test. I don't think he played any other test. And I think the final test, Kuldeep Yadav got a 5-wicket haul. Ravi Shastri, the coach, then claims that Kuldeep Yadav is the best spinner in India. And then Ashwin said, that statement made me feel that Ravi Shastri threw me under the bus. Not my words, his words. You can read that interview in ESPN Cricket Info. So, what was really happening? Who were the people who were deciding? Was it Ravi Shastri making the calls? Was it Virat Kohli making the calls? Because I still am at a loss to understand two selection decisions. Completely keeping Ashwin out of the England series. I mean, this England team is so bad. At home, India could have rubbed their noses 4-0. I'm assuming that the fifth test, because the fifth test never got played, IPL came in the way. They should have defeated them 4-0. And for that, they could have done that if they had had Ashwin bowling. I mean, you can make any amounts of arguments that Jadeja is a better batsman than Ashwin. Really? At test level? How many centuries does Ravindra Jadeja have? How many does Ashwin have? Don't compare the road front triple hundreds that Ravindra Jadeja scores in Saurashtra, Rajkot. That, it's a road front of a wicket. It's like batting practice. Just keep on hitting. So, technically, Ashwin is a better batsman. Unfortunately, his confidence is not as a batsman is not where it should be, because the coach never treats him the way he ought to be treated. My words, I'm not going to say that somebody else feels like that. In fact, I have no contact with any of the cricket players of Indian team. I'm just reading, but I have a way of analyzing things. So this statement of Ravi Shastri that Kuldeep Yadav was the best spinner in the country probably went to his head, because Kuldeep Yadav was never the same bowler after that. Even in IPL, he couldn't really make his mark. And then yesterday, 𝗹𝗂𝘀𝗀𝗃 said that IPL has inferior bowling resources. I don't know. I mean, it's his comment. The more important point that we need to look at is, look at the IPL results critically. Who is contributing for the win? Batsman or bowler or fielder? And see if those happen to be Indian players. Only then you can say that here are the players who are really good. We have to remember, Ashwin, Bumrah, all these people came through the IPL. That's where they made their mark, and then they got into the Indian team. So my point here is that for Virat Kohli now to squeal that he has been unfairly dumped as the ODI captain hints that it is not Virat Kohli speaking, but it is the lobby behind him, the lobby that seems to be controlling him speaking. I have always told you that BCCI is full of lobbies. There are at least two lobbies that I know of. One of Amit Shah's son, Shah, and then Sourav Ganguly, of course, perhaps belongs to that group. And then there is the established bandicoot system that has been around for a long time. This bandicoot system has managed to append Srinivasan from there, and I mean, you have to go back and read the history. Murky politics, politicians, these people are some of the worst people on the earth in terms of what kind of things they inflict on players, Bollywood actresses, and what have you. So again, that's all explained in my book, Who Painted My Lust Red. So what goes around comes around, Virat Kohli. You had the coach fired, now the coach has fired you. So take it, concentrate on your batting, and maybe you'll get to play in the ODI 11 and the T20 11. For sure, you need to up your game even at the test. Let's wait and see how he performs, and then we can take a call. Thanks for watching. Do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Namaskar.